The movie starts by showing a cult performing a disturbing ritual. There is also a woman among them who is video recording them, and they hang a woman. Next, we see Andy and his visually impaired stepsister, Piper. At home, Piper comes to Andy and tells him, "Dad went to the bathroom, but it's been a long time. He hasn't come out and he's not responding." Andy unlocks the door with a knife, and as soon as he enters the bathroom, he sees his father's dead body on the floor. He had died from slipping. The social worker, Wendy, tells Andy and Piper, "I have a friend named Laura who wants to adopt both of you." On the same day, Andy and Piper move into Laura's house. While taking out belongings from the car, Andy notices a white circle around Laura's house, but he doesn't pay much attention and goes inside the house with his belongings. As Andy is exploring his new house, he sees Laura's disturbed foster son, Oliver, in an empty swimming pool holding a cat tightly. Meanwhile, Laura reaches there and snatches the cat from Oliver. Andy is chatting with his friend. Meanwhile, Laura comes there. She asks Andy, "Are you chatting with your girlfriend?" He tells her, "No, this is my friend." When Andy gets busy talking to Piper, Laura picks up Andy's phone and starts reading his messages. When Andy sees Laura reading his messages, he angrily snatches the phone from her. Then Laura comes into Piper's room and starts looking at her strangely. Then she plays the ritual tape. At night, Andy can't sleep, so he starts looking out the window. Meanwhile, he sees Laura and Oliver going into a secret room. The next day, Laura takes Andy and Piper to their father's funeral. At home, Oliver breaks the glass window of his room and comes out of the room, and his hand is bleeding. He tries to get out of the house, but the door is locked. Meanwhile, he sees many chickens in a cage. He goes near the chickens, and his eyes turn red as if he is very hungry. Laura secretly cuts a small amount of hair from Andy's father's head and puts it in her bag. After reaching home, Andy, Piper, and Laura drink alcohol. Then they play music and dance a lot. After dancing, Laura and Andy sit down tired, and Piper falls asleep. Laura tells Andy, "I had a daughter named Kathy, and she was visually impaired like Piper. She died by drowning in a swimming pool." Andy also shares his grief with Laura. He tells Laura, "My father used to beat me a lot, but Piper was very dear to him." At midnight, Laura urinates in a mug and then pours her urine into Andy's pants. She then picks up Andy's phone and deletes Oliver's photo from his phone. Meanwhile, she hears a cat screaming. She looks out the window and sees Oliver holding the cat. Laura brings Oliver from outside and starts bathing him in the tub. She tells him, "I know you're hungry, but have a little patience." When Laura is not home, Andy tries to go to Oliver's room to meet him, but the room door is locked. He then picks up a knife from the kitchen and unlocks the room door with the knife. After that, he brings Oliver to the kitchen and gives him fruit to eat, but he starts eating the knife, which cuts his entire mouth. He starts taking Oliver to the hospital, but when he takes him outside the white circle, he starts screaming loudly. Meanwhile, Laura also arrives there. Laura takes Oliver into the room and plays the ritual tape. She then circles her finger on his forehead, which calms him down. Andy is bathing in the bathroom when he sees the ghost of his father. Andy gets scared seeing his father's ghost, slips, and hits his head. Andy is then brought to the hospital. Laura plays with Piper in the rain and gives him a lot of love. Then she takes Piper to her secret room where there is a freezer containing her daughter's corpse. She makes Piper touch her daughter's corpse. Then Laura continues her disturbing ritual and shows Oliver the ritual tape. Andy also returns home after recovering. Laura reaches the final stage of the ritual. To complete the ritual, Laura has to get Andy out of the house. That's why she punches Piper in the eye and blames Andy. She tells Andy, "You are also abusive like your father. You are jealous of Piper because your father loved Piper more, and that's why you are now taking revenge on Piper." Andy tells Piper, "She's lying. I can never harm you." Just then, Laura starts fighting with him and pretends as if Andy is beating her. Meanwhile, Andy sees Oliver, who is transforming into a monster. He takes a picture of Oliver, but then Laura snatches the phone from him and breaks it. Then, Andy leaves from there. Laura goes to drop Piper off at school, and when she returns home, she sees Oliver, who is completely transformed into a monster. Oliver attacks Laura and starts eating her flesh. Meanwhile, Laura locks herself in the room to escape Oliver. Oliver then starts eating the table, and afterward, he eats his own flesh. After that, he goes into the secret room, opens the freezer, and starts eating Kathy's corpse. Andy comes to the police station, and that's when he sees Oliver's picture with "missing" written on it. He then quickly goes to Wendy and tells her Laura has kidnapped a child and kept him at home. Andy brings Wendy to Laura's house. Wendy seats Andy in the car and goes inside Laura's house. Andy gets out of the car and enters the house. He breaks the lock of Laura's secret room and goes inside. Inside the room, he sees Oliver, who is eating the corpse of Kathy. Wendy starts searching Laura's house. Meanwhile, Wendy sees blood on Laura's hand. Just then, Wendy hears Andy screaming. Laura tells Wendy, "I'm doing all this for my daughter. I'm performing a ritual that will bring my daughter back to life." However, Wendy doesn't listen to Laura at all and goes to Andy, where she also sees Oliver in his monster form. Then Andy and Wendy try to get out of there, but Laura hits both of them with her car. Afterward, she drowns Andy to death. Then Laura goes to Piper's school and brings her back home. Laura hides Andy and Wendy's dead bodies in the bathroom. Oliver starts calling Piper with Andy's voice. That's when she realizes something is wrong, and then she locks herself in the bathroom to escape Laura. In the bathroom, Piper finds Andy's corpse. Just then, Laura unlocks the bathroom door and comes inside. Piper tries to escape from Laura, but she hits a wall and becomes unconscious. Laura drags Piper to the swimming pool. Due to the rainwater, the swimming pool fills up with water. Oliver also enters the swimming pool. Then Laura starts to drown Piper, and Oliver begins to transform. When Piper calls out to her mother, Laura realizes she's doing something wrong and feels very guilty. That's why she lets Piper go. Oliver attacks Piper, but Piper kicks Oliver in the stomach and runs away. Piper comes onto the path where a family sees her, and they drive her away in their car. Oliver looks at his photo and steps out of the circle. After Oliver leaves the circle, the demon exits his body. Meanwhile, police officers also arrive and identify Oliver. Laura brings her daughter into the swimming pool. Just then, the police also arrive and surround Laura, and the movie ends here.